Why is there a need to move to accrual accounting for governments in Europe, and why do we need public sector specific accounting standards?
Yeah, you see, accounting standards are setting incentives for decision making, and if we want politicians to make the right decisions for which they are accountable for, then we need to provide them the proper accounting rules. And looking at the currently existing rules in some of the European countries, such as Germany or the Netherlands, you see that the accounting rules require recording cash flows on a short-time basis only. So what decision basis is that for a politician, and what incentive is that providing? I think that example shows that we need more transparent rules and more information for better decision making. Not only talking about that, but talking about situations like in Cyprus. If we want the citizens to help with the bailout of governments, then I think we need to show the real picture and the full transparent picture on financial position of governments as a whole. Not only looking at cash flows, but also looking at assets and liabilities and the financial performance of governments. So I think that are very good reasons for moving from cash to accruals-based accounting in the public sector.
How widely accepted do you think it is among governments and stakeholders and people, decision makers, that there is a need to move to accruals accounting?
I think we have seen a great shift during the last, I would say, two to 3 years within the public sector in thinking from moving from cash to accruals and the necessity. Having seen the results at the last OECD meeting, where the OECD did kind of a quick questionnaire, it was only 4 countries left being on cash basis and having no plans to move towards accrual. So I think that shows that there is a broad acceptance of the necessity of accruals accounting in the public sector. I think there will be a peer pressure on the remaining others. So I think in a couple of years we will see that accrual accounting will be the only accounting system in the public sector.
Yeah, so what are the general barriers and challenges to adopting common accounting standards for the public sector?
I think talking about conversions, talking about converting accrual standards from cash basis to accruals basis standards is a very complex project. So we kind of face 2 types of challenges. One is a technical challenge or technical challenges, and the other are project management challenges. Looking firstly at the technical challenges, I think the main task is really to do a proper inventory of assets and liabilities and do a proper valuation. In many countries we don't have information available regarding historical cost, so this certainly is one of the major challenges. The other challenge certainly will be how to deal with the imbalance between accounting requirements for liabilities and the financing, which is done in the future by future tax income. So I think doing a right assessment and the right interpretation of the probably negative net financial position is, I think, a key in providing the right message to the public. Looking at the project management challenges, I think facing probably a multi-year project, I think it's key to keep the momentum and to avoid any project fatigue. And certainly it is very key to provide people who are involved in the project with the necessary knowledge in order to avoid uncertainty.
Okay, so what are the specific challenges facing EU member states to adopt public sector accounting standards?
I think the major challenge here would certainly be firstly to agree on a common standard, because obviously we have a very heterogeneous landscape. We have different starting points. We have Germany being on cash on one side, we have UK being on IFRS on the other side, we have France doing their own thing, just to name some examples. And I think it will be very, very much necessary to look at the question, what are the European specifics where we need a European answer for? And then provide and establish these European answers kind of in further development of the international public sector accounting standards. I think that will be the challenge for Europe. What
would the benefits be, though, for Europe of moving towards common accounting standards?
I think there are a couple of benefits. I think we are not talking about the benefits of accrual accounting now. I think the benefits of common accounting standards certainly would be a huge improvement in comparability, in having the same basis for interpretation of results, in having hopefully an alignment with the results and messages we get from the statistics, and in allowing knowledge and capacity to move around within Europe. I think that certainly would be the three major benefits out of that.
Do you think that European public sector accounting standards will become a reality?
I think it will become a reality. The question is, how near would that be to international public sector accounting standards? I think this is what we have to figure out, whether we really need to reinvent the wheel or whether we should align as close as possible with the international public sector accounting standards. But certainly I think we will see something and something harmonized on an accruals basis in the coming years.